Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Hope and Carter banned from Thanksgiving. Eric forbids traders from entering home. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers reveal that Thanksgiving will be here before you know it. But there are two characters who may not get invitations to this year's festivities. If Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, go through with what they're planning, they may have to make alternative holiday arrangements. Carter could be in charge of Forrester Creations, with Hope right by his side, if he uses that LLC to his advantage. All signs point to Hope and Carter deciding to go for it in the end, so they'd better be ready for some backlash. Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Missinswood, and Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., will no doubt plan to fight this in court. This seems like something Ridge and Steffy will be able to undo eventually, but they'll never forget Carter and Hope's double betrayal. Of course, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, will be part of the deception if Hope and Carter's plot moves full speed ahead. Since Brooke will find out about it beforehand, she'll be partly to blame if she allows it to happen and doesn't warn Ridge. However, Brooke may hide her involvement and ultimately play dumb about the whole thing. It could take some time before Ridge gets updates on Brooke, knowing disaster was imminent and failing to give him the news. With that in mind, we should just focus on Carter and Hope for a moment. Eric Forrester, John McCook, loves them both, but B&B spoilers say his affection could change drastically once Hope and Carter's scheme comes to light. It's easy to imagine Eric banning Carter and Hope from the Thanksgiving celebration under the circumstances. Eric may refuse to let a couple traitors like them even enter his home anymore. Hope and Carter probably wouldn't want to attend anyway, since there'll be so much conflict going on. In the end, Carter and Hope may just have a little private Thanksgiving for two, since they'll make themselves pariahs with the takeover plot that's coming up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Hope and Carter will have to accept the consequences that come with the rewards, so we'll bring you more predictions on all the fallout. Thanksgiving has always been a time for warmth, family, and forgiveness. But this year, the Forrester family's gathering promises to be anything but harmonious. The picturesque Forrester mansion, typically the centerpiece of the holiday spirit, is now shrouded in tension, scandal, and a list of guests strictly banned from stepping foot inside. At the top of that list, Hope Logan and Carter Walton. Eric Forrester's home, a symbol of elegance and familial unity, is the scene of a dramatic holiday showdown. Known for his unyielding efforts to keep his family together, Eric has reached his breaking point. The revelation of Hope's betrayal and Carter's involvement in a shocking series of events has shattered his patience, leaving him resolute in his decision. They will not be welcome at his table. Hope Logan, the family disgrace. Hope Logan's fall from grace has been swift and public. The beloved daughter of Brooke Logan and the moral compass of the Logan family shocked everyone with her scandalous choices. Hope, who had always prided herself on her integrity, found herself drawn into a secret relationship that defied all logic and loyalty. When the affair between Hope and Thomas Forrester was exposed, it rocked the Forrester and Logan families to their cores. Ridge, who had reluctantly begun to trust Hope with his son's fragile mental state, felt utterly betrayed. And Eric, the patriarch, saw it as a betrayal of not only family loyalty, but of the principles his home stood for. Thanksgiving, he declared, was no place for a woman who had torn apart his family's unity. Carter Walton, from trusted confidant to outcast. Carter Walton's inclusion on the banned list sent shockwaves through the Forrester Creations offices. Once considered the moral compass of the Forrester family's extended circle, Carter's secret dealings and personal entanglements earned him Eric's ire. Carter had been Eric's confidant during Quinn's betrayal, someone he leaned on when his marriage felt beyond repair. But Carter's involvement with Quinn, and the subsequent fallout, left scars that hadn't healed. Eric had reluctantly forgiven him, hoping time would smooth over the hurt. But Carter's latest betrayal, aiding Hope and Thomas in concealing their affair, was the final straw. To Eric, Carter wasn't just a colleague who had made mistakes. He was a repeat offender in the game of deception, and Eric was determined to protect his home from further disruption. Thanksgiving without Carter, Eric reasoned, was a Thanksgiving without the shadow of treachery hanging over the feast. Eric's unyielding stance for Eric, banning Hope and Carter from Thanksgiving, was a painful but necessary choice. "This is my home," he declared to a stunned Ridge and Brooke. "I will not have it sullied by betrayal and lies, not on a day that's supposed to be about gratitude and love." Brooke, ever the defender of her daughter, tried to reason with Eric. "She's family, Eric," Brooke pleaded. "She's made mistakes, but don't we all? Hope deserves a chance to make things right." Eric's response was as cold as the November air. "Family doesn't destroy family, Brooke. Hope crossed a line, and until she learns the meaning of loyalty, she's not welcome here." The same argument erupted between Eric and Ridge over Carter's banishment. Ridge, torn between his loyalty to Eric and his friendship with Carter, tried to broker peace. But Eric was immovable. If Carter cared about this family, he wouldn't keep enabling the chaos, Eric said firmly. "I've given him enough chances." The fallout, news of the ban, quickly spread through the Forrester and Logan circles, sparking debates and forcing everyone to choose sides. Steffy and Finn, eager to avoid the drama, opted for a quieter Thanksgiving at their Malibu home. Steffy, though sympathetic to Eric's decision, expressed sadness over how fractured their family had become. "I hate what's happened," she confided to Finn. "But maybe this is what Hope and Carter need to realize the damage they've done." Meanwhile, Brooke was beside herself with anger. Convinced Eric was overreacting, she toyed with the idea of hosting her own Thanksgiving dinner to include Hope. But Ridge warned her against it, fearing it would only deepen the rift in their families. Hope's reaction: Hope was devastated by Eric's decision. For someone who had always strived to be the moral center of her family, being labeled a traitor cut deep. She confided in her mother, tearfully lamenting how everything had spiraled out of control. "I never wanted this," Hope said, her voice trembling. "I made a mistake, but I'm not a bad person. Why can't anyone see that?" Brooke, ever supportive, assured her daughter that they would get through this together. But Hope's shame was palpable. For the first time, she considered spending Thanksgiving far from the prying eyes of her family. Carter's struggle. Carter, too, was grappling with the consequences of his actions. Banished from Eric's home, he felt the weight of his mistakes like never before. Turning to Quinn for solace, he admitted his regrets. "I've lost everything," Carter said, his voice heavy with emotion. "Eric trusted me, and I let him down again." Quinn, ever pragmatic, urged him to fight for redemption. "Eric's angry now, but he's also fair," she said. "Show him you've changed, and he'll come around." But Carter wasn't so sure. As Thanksgiving approached, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had crossed a line Eric would never forgive. Thanksgiving without them. When Thanksgiving Day arrived, the Forrester mansion was alive with the smell of turkey and the sound of laughter. But beneath the surface, the absence of Hope and Carter loomed large. Eric, despite his firm stance, couldn't help but feel the weight of the empty seats at his table. As he looked around at his family, he wondered if his decision, though justified, had cost them more than he realized. But there was no going back, not yet. For Eric, this Thanksgiving wasn't just about gratitude. It was a stand for the values he held dear, a reminder that family wasn't just about blood, It was about trust, loyalty, and respect. What's next? As the holiday season continues, the fallout from Eric's Thanksgiving banishment promises to ripple through the Forrester and Logan families. Will Hope and Carter find a path to redemption? Or has Eric's decision permanently fractured the bonds that hold them together? One thing is certain. This Thanksgiving will be one the Forresters and their fans won't soon forget. The Bold and the Beautiful Monday, November 18 update. Ridge grills Finn, Elektra's panic rises, and Hope boosts Carter's ego. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B. Spoilers update for Monday, November 18, reveals that Elektra Forrester, Linnea Grace, will indulge in a makeout session with Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, who'll keep pushing to learn more about her. Of course, Elektra isn't eager to spill much, since she's got a major secret in her past. This clearly relates to a stalker named Remy Price, Christian Weisman, and some trouble he's stirred up, but Elektra may not necessarily know he's the troublemaker. It's possible Remy has been messing with Elektra anonymously, since he seems friendly with her in B and B's preview video for the week of November 18 to 22. However, Remy could also just imagine the interaction going well in his head. Whatever the case, Remy will need a little time to travel to LA now that he's seen the press release. Although Elektra will cozy up Will at work, she'll struggle to push down the panic that's rising over her history haunting her. Next on Monday's B&B episode, Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, will track down John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Nublin, and put him through a grilling session. Since Ridge wasn't there to see Hope Logan, Annika Noel, fall on Finn in lingerie, he may ask if it really went down like Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McKinswood, said. Ridge loves Steffy and trusts her most of the time, but he also knows her judgment can be a bit skewed when it comes to Hope. Since Hope's firing news is causing so much drama, Ridge may want Finn's perspective on how the lingerie debacle played out. Naturally, Finn feels confident that Hope was making a sizzling move on him. As for Steffy's decision to get rid of Hope at Forrester Creations, Finn will feel confident that his wife knows what she's doing. At the cabin, Hope will continue to give Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, an ego boost. Part of Carter doesn't like the idea of duping Ridge and Eric Forrester, John McCook, but Hope will keep playing up how his opinions aren't respected. Carter has some amazing suggestions that could take Forrester to the next level as far as Hope is concerned. This is Carter's chance to do what he feels is right for the company and bring Hope back on board at the same time. Now that Carter has offered updates on his takeover plan using the LLC paperwork, Hope will become increasingly convinced they should run with it. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Hope could become a power player by Carter's side, so stick with us for more predictions on all the shockers to come. The sun shone over the Los Angeles skyline as Forrester Creations buzzed with its usual chaos, the promise of drama as electric as the hum of the city. In Ridge Forrester's office, the tension was palpable. Ridge had called Dr. John Finn Finnegan for a private meeting. The normally composed doctor looked uncharacteristically uncomfortable, shifting in his seat under Ridge's unyielding gaze. "You're not just here because of Steffy," Ridge began, his voice calm but steely. "You're here because I need answers, Finn. What's going on with this mess between Sheila and Steffy? And don't even think about sugarcoating it." Finn sighed, running a hand through his dark hair. "Ridge, I understand your frustration. Believe me, I've done everything I can to keep Sheila away from Steffy and the kids. But she's relentless. She's been manipulating situations and playing on people's emotions. And Sheila always manipulates. That's what she does," Ridge cut in, his voice rising. "You're supposed to protect my daughter. Are you telling me you can't handle this?" Finn bristled, sitting up straighter. With all due respect, Ridge, I'm doing my best. Steffi's strong, but she's vulnerable when it comes to Sheila. We all are, to some extent. Ridge leaned forward, his piercing eyes locking onto Finn's. Then do better, Finn. Sheila doesn't get to win. Not on my watch. Electra's panic escalates. Meanwhile, across town, Electra Moore paced the plush living room of her Beverly Hills mansion. Her phone sat on the coffee table, its screen alight with a string of unanswered messages from Sheila Carter. Electra's nerves were frayed, her carefully curated composure unraveling with each passing moment. "Sheila, what have you done now?" she muttered under her breath. Electra had aligned herself with Sheila for one reason: power. Sheila's cunning and unpredictable nature had made her a useful ally, until now. The recent developments involving Steffi and Finn had thrown a wrench in their carefully laid plans. A knock at the door jolted Electra out of her thoughts. She hesitated, her heart racing. She wasn't expecting anyone. Slowly, she approached the door and peered through the peephole. Relief flooded her as she recognized a familiar face. "Carter," she said, opening the door. Carter Walton stood there, his expression warm yet concerned. "Electra, you look like you've seen a ghost. Everything okay?" Electra forced a smile. "Just a lot on my mind." "Come in." As Carter entered, Electra closed the door behind him, her mind racing. She needed an ally, someone she could trust. Carter's loyalty and sense of justice made him the perfect candidate. "Carter, I need your help," she said, her voice trembling. Carter frowned. "What's going on? Are you in trouble?" Electra hesitated, choosing her words carefully. "Let's just say I've gotten involved with someone who's complicated. And now I'm worried it's all spiraling out of control." Carter's expression softened. "Electra, you know you can trust me. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out." Hope lifts Carter's spirits. Later that afternoon, Carter found himself at Forrester Creations, where Hope Logan was finalizing the designs for her latest collection. Hope looked up as Carter entered, her face lighting up with a genuine smile. "Carter, just the person I needed to see," she said warmly. Carter's shoulders relaxed at her cheerful demeanor. "Hey, Hope, what's up?" "I wanted to thank you for all the hard work you've been doing behind the scenes," Hope said. "You're always the one keeping everything running smoothly, and I don't say it enough. You're amazing at what you do." Carter chuckled, a hint of color rising to his cheeks. "Thanks, Hope. That means a lot. Sometimes it feels like I'm just here, you know. Like people only notice when something goes wrong." Hope shook her head vehemently. "Not true. You're the glue that holds this place together. And don't let anyone make you feel otherwise." Her words had the intended effect, bringing a rare smile to Carter's face. For someone who often felt overshadowed by the larger-than-life personalities at Forrester Creations, Hope's acknowledgement was a much-needed boost. As they chatted, Thomas Forrester passed by, his eyes narrowing slightly as he caught sight of Hope and Carter's easy camaraderie. Thomas's possessiveness of Hope had waned in recent months, but old habits died hard. "Carter," Thomas said, interrupting their conversation. "Got a minute?" Carter glanced at Hope, who gave him an encouraging nod. "Sure, Thomas. What's up?" As the two men walked away, Hope watched them go, a thoughtful expression on her face. She had a feeling that whatever Thomas wanted to discuss, it wasn't going to be simple. Ridge's warning. Back in Ridge's office, Finn's patience was wearing thin. He respected Ridge, but the constant questioning was starting to feel like an interrogation. "Ridge, I understand your concerns," Finn said, his tone firm. "But you have to trust me. I'm doing everything I can to protect Steffi and the kids. And Sheila, She's not as invincible as she wants us to believe. Reach studied Finn for a long moment before nodding slowly. All right, Finn, I'll back off for now. But if Sheila steps out of line again, you better be ready to deal with her. Because if you're not, I will. Finn exhaled, relieved but wary. He knew Ridge's words weren't an empty threat. Electra's decision. At the mansion, Electra sat alone, her mind a whirlwind of fear and determination. Sheila's latest stunt had pushed her to the edge, and she realized she had a choice to make. Continue playing Sheila's dangerous game, or cut ties and face the consequences. Reaching for her phone, Electra dialed a number she hadn't called in years. "Hello," came a familiar voice on the other end. "It's me," Electra said, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. "I need your help." As the pieces moved on the board, it was clear that the game in Los Angeles was far from over. Alliances would shift, secrets would surface, and no one would be left untouched by the fallout.